about partnership? Like, if you come to a relation, is there still a point for you to like be with the woman, or
is there still a point to?
To like be with the woman, like a man and woman together? Because if there's no desire, then does it end, or how is
It may still happen. Right.
So it's not like the desire is done and
Often in the Indian tradition, it's said that you should be alone, you should be celibate. But you cannot really make a rule like this and then it's applicable for everybody. If it's in your stars that you are in a relationship, then you are still in a relationship, and if that relationship is not eating all your energy because you are always bickering at each other, then you can actually very much inspire each other. And it's a mirror. If you are alone, then you can easier justify a lot of what you are thinking and doing. If there is somebody else there, it's always coming back. So, hey, look. In my story, it was very essential that I was by myself. Well, I was in a relationship with my guru, but that I was living the strict life of a celibate. I wanted to do it, and the way I went about it, it was very helpful. And I didn't plan at all to get into a relationship, but then I did get into a relationship, and I'm still. Since 20 years now, I'm living with Sudha here, and we are still here together. And I'm not in any way thinking that takes anything away from my spirituality. You have to be aware that you are not making the partner, that you are not making the circumstances, that you are not making anything responsible for your happiness. You are the source of your own happiness. You are the source of your own sense of fulfillment, of completeness. And then, if you live like this and somebody joins you and you go the way together, then it's fine. But as soon as you are making the partner responsible for your well-being, for your happiness, for your sense of completeness, then you are asking for trouble. For a moment it may work, but then it doesn't work again. I mean, usually when two people come together in the beginning, it's all laugh, 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 happy, happy, heavens. It's all euphoric, emotional, and that happiness that is experienced is because it simply flows, it flows. When it's giving, 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 and then in that giving, that inner happiness is experienced. But this is something that just doesn't go on and on and on like this. And after some time, it cools down. Then people start to think, what happened? He made me so happy, she made me so happy, what's wrong? And then instead of giving, they start to try to take, to get something. And there the whole trouble starts. Whether you are alone or whether you are in a relationship, just be aware. Don't make others responsible for your happiness. Don't make the whole world, the whole universe responsible for your happiness. Don't make your upbringing, your parents, your conditioning, all that stuff responsible for your happiness or unhappiness. course, how we were brought up, that has formed our mind, how we are functioning. But once we take our own responsibility, once we start to become thinking, self-thinking being, then if we never question it, we just repeat all the stuff that has been put into us. And we keep on creating the same trouble and same trouble over and over and over. So we can learn to let that go. And then we become aware it's not them that makes us unhappy. It's not our youth that makes us unhappy. It's not our parents, not our teachers, not our society. They have helped that we started to function in a certain way, but after that we are doing it to ourselves over and over and over and over again. And we have to learn to let that go and become natural. Be in that natural, peaceful joyousness. Naturally at ease, at peace. And then if you are in a relationship, don't look for fulfillment or for happiness in your partner. It's in you. And the more that is experienced from your own self, the more it's also radiating, and it's giving a positive input into a partnership. Why often traditions they say don't go into a relationship? It's not so much the whole sexual stuff. There's much too much importance being given to the whole sexual story. Those who like to have sex, they give too much importance, and those who don't want to have sex, they also give too much importance. After all, what is a big deal? Come on. No, but the tendency is when you get into a relationship, then the whole tale comes with it. And if we are not detached, then the mind has the tendency to be all the time busy. Why is she doing like that? Why is he doing like that? And the whole energy is fed on a level just wasteful, instead of bring it back to yourself. But if you have the alertness that when some tension is there, instead of looking for the mistakes in your partner, it's because of this and this and this that I'm feeling in tension, that first you have a good, honest look at yourself and see what you are doing, what you are contributing, and why do I feeling unhappy in the situation. There is something in me that needs to be worked on, otherwise the situation doesn't make me unhappy. It may not be pleasant, but it doesn't make me suffer if I'm not doing something to myself. So a relationship, if you have that alertness, can be very helpful to always give you inspiration to have a good look at yourself and get rid of stuff that creates always tension and these bottlenecks where consciousness that is naturally expansive is always contracted. Are you in a relationship?
Right now, no.
Sorry? No. Would you like to be in a relationship? Best is that you don't care about it. Find that happiness in yourself. And then maybe if somebody comes along, and maybe not. And then it's not more important.
What about children?
Children, the same thing. All I have said about the relationship can also be said about children. Of course, I mean, if you decide to have children, you sort of make a contract that you are going to be busy for 20 years. If you just have children and after that don't take the responsibility, something is not quite right. But you can also draw a lot of inspiration from children. We all were like this, having that innocent purity, that innocent beauty. That children, when they are born, first they have still that natural contact with beingness. And then when they start to function, they function like, it's like bursts of that beauty just comes out. And after that, the poor fellows, they are being being bombarded all around all the time from the adults, how to be, how not to be, what to do, what not to do. And then slowly, slowly, the attention is taken into that spiral of thinking, calculating, and gradually that purity, that beauty is getting, it's not lost, it's still there, but it's buried. And somehow, often it helps people being in touch with young children to somehow touch that in themselves again. But definitely, it means if you decide to have children, that you accept, okay, your personal freedom in the sense of just doing whatever you like all the time is restricted. And you have to invest a lot of time somehow helping them to grow up. If you are ready to do that, then by all means do that. Just don't lose that awareness of being self-aware. And even if you have, even if you are in a relationship, even if you have children, it's very, very helpful if you have every day some time when you are not busy. If you have every day some time where you just withdraw, where you can put your undivided attention simply on being conscious, being consciously alive, here, now. No matter how you are doing, whether you use a technique or not a technique, or whatever for technique, but that you are ready to do your duties, but then you withdraw and you have that time where you can put your undivided attention. Still, if you are a lot busy the rest of the time, the tendency is that the thoughts about it come back. Then if you get lost in the thoughts, if you become aware, bring your attention back again. And if you do it sometime and you feel, oh, when I'm sitting there and try to keep quiet, I'm always thinking about everything that happens the whole day long, so it's no point, no use, it's wrong. There is a point and there is a use. Because if you try to keep quiet and you cannot keep quiet, there is no other situation in which you become so acutely aware how your mind is functioning. It's not very pleasant. When we become aware how the mind is functioning, usually it's not very pleasant what we are seeing. And when we want to keep quiet and there it comes, it's not very pleasant, but that very feeling of of not liking it helps us to detach from it. So no matter what you are doing, it's very helpful if you have every day some time, and after that try to bring that attitude as good as you can in your daily life, with your partner, with your children, at your job, whatever. Just remind yourself to connect, not to get completely lost in the situation, not to go all over the world all the time completely missing the present, but learn to connect even when you are with people, even when you are with the children, even if the situation is not pleasant, that you connect and relax. It's getting also, the more you can do that, the easier it's also getting to deal with those situations. But I would recommend possible parents to really, for some time, have a good look at themselves. Are they ready to take up that responsibility? Because the idea is, for many, it's so nice. Oh, having a little baby. It doesn't remain like this for a long time. And people have some funny notions that their own genes, an extension of myself, is all crap. They are beings by themselves. They are not extensions of the parents. My child, with my genes. But if that feeling is there, yes, I want that, then by all means go for it. But don't lose yourself because of that. Bring your attention back to the self. Start your days with the intent to remember, to connect. As long as we don't remember, nothing can be done. But when the memory comes, at that moment you connect. Don't get, when the memory comes and you become aware, oh my God, how much time I had, not the conscious moment, I was just everywhere except consciously conscious. Don't waste your time lamenting about it and beating yourself up and it's no use in spite of all my meditation. Because there you are gone again in the story. Just no fuss, no big deal. The moment you remember, you just connect and relax. And even if you stay just a few seconds, those few seconds, they are very precious. And if you do it again and again and again and again, then gradually it's building up its own momentum that eventually becomes stronger than the momentum of the habit of always getting lost in this story. And it's becoming more and more natural and effortless that you are simply aware of that aspect in yourself that is not affected by any of what is happening. Then you can play your story. And you stop taking this whole damn story so serious. We are identifying so much with what we are doing, with our self-image, with what people think about us, with all that consists in our idea that I am this person. This person is just a figure in a dream, it's just an image, a role that we are playing in the theater of this world. And the more we are capable of connecting with that silent aspect of you that is not affected by it, the more you become aware. Okay, I'm just playing a role, just playing a bit human for some time, playing a role in this world, and then you can go about it playfully, without taking me so serious, nor taking the whole rest so serious. Then you can also play partner, or you can play parents.